So, reported speech. Now, reported speech is the opposite of direct speech. So, what does that mean? Well, if somebody says something, you can talk about what they said two different ways in English. If I say, I'm happy, we can use direct speech. Mark said, I'm happy. And that means exactly the same thing. What did Mark say? Don't change his words. I'm happy. Mark said, I'm happy. I ate dinner early. What did Mark say? Mark said, I ate dinner early. Okay, so we have to understand that when we use direct speech, maybe I is not the person speaking. Maybe it's who you are talking about. So Joe is speaking, and Joe says, I love you. What did Joe say? Joe said, I love you. I is not me, it's Joe. Direct speech is easy. We say exactly the same thing that the person said. Joe said, I love you. Now, reported speech is a little bit different. Reported speech is when we change the subject, sometimes we change the object, but most importantly, we have to change the tenses. In reported speech, we use something called a back shift of tenses. So what does that mean? Well, the examples on the website. It will probably rain this afternoon. It will. In a back shift of tenses, that means we go back one level in the tenses. So, how do we change will? Well, we change will to would. So, one more time. It will probably rain this afternoon. Mark said it would probably rain this afternoon. Will becomes would. Okay, now, be going to. Be going to. Example, are you going to study tonight? Are you going to study tonight? So, what did I do? Did I say? Did I tell somebody? No, it's a question. I asked somebody. So, Mark asked if now I am going to? No, we have to change it back one level. So, Mark, his question, are you going to study tonight? So you say, Mark asked me if, because it's a question, if I was. We have to change am to was. You asked me, Mark asked me if I was going to study tonight. So am is was. Okay. Are is were. Okay. So okay. So if I say we are going to study tonight, we are. Mark said we? No, they. Okay, so we have to change the subjects too. We is not you. We is Mark's group. So it's not you. So Mark's group, you have to say they. So we are going to study tonight. Mark said they are. No, they passed. They were going to study tonight. We changed the tenses because of reported speech. Now, present simple, example, I live alone, we have to change to past simple in reported speech. I live alone. Mark said he lives. No, we have to change it one level. Mark said he lived alone. Okay? I love pizza. Mark said he loved pizza. Present continuous, we have to change to past continuous. Okay? So I am working. Mark said he is, no, past continuous. Mark said he was working. Okay, so present continuous in reported speech becomes past continuous. Now, if I say the past simple, reported speech, we use the past perfect. So, I ate eggs for breakfast. Mark said he had eaten. So past perfect, remember, we need had and a past participle. So I ate eggs. Mark said he had eaten eggs. And finally, if I say present perfect, we also use past perfect. So, I have been to France. I have been, my experience. Mark said he had been to France. Okay, so will becomes would, am going to, is going to, are going to. We have to change am, is, or are to was or were going to. Present simple, I live. We change it to past simple. He lived. Present continuous, I am working. We change it to past continuous. He was working. Past simple, I ate eggs. We change to past perfect. He had eaten eggs. And finally, present perfect, I have been to France. We also change to past perfect. He had been to France. Now, some other rules. If I say can, reported speech, you say could. I can play the piano. Mark said he could play the piano. Must. If I say must, you have to say Mark said he had to. Had to. So, I must take a shower. Mark said he had to take a shower. And then we have two more, and then two more, they don't change. So if I say should, well, we don't change should. I should study. Mark said he should study. And also would. Sorry about the noise, the buses. I would love to go to the party. Mark said he would love to go to the party. So should and would don't change. Okay? Now we also have to be careful about things like subjects, which I've explained. I becomes he. We, you have to say they, because it's not your group. But also be careful about pronouns. So if I say my mother is 52 years old. Mark said my? No. Mark said his mother was 52 years old. So remember, we have to change pronouns. Okay? Now, be careful with this grammar because we have to use a little grammar from Unit 11. If it's a question, like we studied in Unit 11, we need a question word or if. Okay? So remember, how old are you? We have to change. Mark asked me, question word, how old I was. Okay? Okay, if I ask you a yes or no question, remember we have to use if or whether. Okay, are you okay? Mark asked me if I was okay. Okay, so we have to use grammar from Unit 11 in reported speech too. That's reported speech.